Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to this episode of JEC Stories. I'm your host, Sohan Bendre, and the National Director of Marketing for the Junior Economic Club. Today, I'm here with Luanna, and Luanna, could you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Luanna Huang. I am a part of the Seattle chapter, and we recently started on November 11th of 2023. So we're a fairly new chapter, and so we're just trying to expand our connections with people as we go, and as well as kind of work with our community to see how far we can expand our chapter.
Yeah, so JEC Seattle is the newest chapter in the United States of the Junior Economic Club. So that's really cool. And could you tell us a bit more about yourself? So maybe what interests you have, academic or extracurricular, and maybe what drives you or inspires you?
Yeah, so a big part of what I do is I do a lot of leadership work. So I've been doing leadership for about 7 years now and held numerous positions. So this is my third term of president at Eisenhower High School this year. Alongside with that, I do speech and debate, where I have placed second place in state champion for Washington, and I've been in that for about 3 years now, as well as entrepreneurship club and DECA, as well as like outside of school, I have like rhinestone, piano, and I work with my parents a lot. And for community service, I do the National Honor Society, and I recently have gotten into the Yakima Youth Leadership Council, where we work on grant funding for different nonprofit organizations in Yakima.
Wow, that seems like a really like amazing list of extracurricular involvement and bettering your community and so many like important skills to develop for your future. And I was wondering, maybe could you expand on maybe one extracurricular that you do that might be most important to you or has a skill or value you like want to keep pursuing in the future?
Yeah, I would say definitely leadership. Because of like my vast experience within this community, I have spent a lot of time kind of fostering teamwork and learning on how to be a better leader and trying to gain more like community involvement as well, and bringing in that school spirit and just trying to like bring the school together as one, and trying we're like the backbone of schools, and that's what leadership really about for like our community, is that we really like the backbone of our community, and we just try to be positive and we try to be friendly and be inclusive and kind of bring in that diversity while also balancing out like equity, for example, within our school.
Yeah, yeah, leadership definitely is the backbone of so many different things, including JEC. But now I want you to maybe think back to the moment you were initially introduced to JEC, and I'm wondering what kind of motivated you to join our community, on top of all the other, I'm sure very time-consuming extracurriculars you already are involved in.
Yeah, so the president of our Seattle chapter, I actually had met her at ACAP, the Accounting Awareness Program. And so, because it was like more of a business geared program, we became good friends through that. And then one day she just kind of had the idea, and she brought it to a bunch of ACAP members. And she said, "Hey, like, what about we bring JEC to Seattle?" And, my passion being like business, and I specifically real estate and like finance and economics and all that. I was like, okay, like, let's, like, see what we're at. And then we see that there's another group also located in kind of the Bellevue area who are also trying to start chapters. So we kind of combined the group together, and we, formed this group, and we have a bunch of amazing members who are really, pushing out JEC Seattle chapter to our community. And so just being a part of JEC is just an amazing experience so far. We're contacting businesses, and we're just trying to get the community involvement for our chapter.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you all decided to start that initiative. I'm sure JC Seattle will develop into a really great chapter. I'm sure it already is. And yeah, we really appreciate you taking that initiative along with those other like ambitious high school students to establish that community where it didn't exist previously. And I know, being involved in the establishment of a chapter is a little bit different than our traditional application process, but I'm sure there are a lot of possibly high school students in other cities that don't have a JEC chapter that may want to start one in the future. And I was wondering if you might have any advice for, those prospective members who might want to, start a club in their own area.
Yeah, I think when we started out, we only had about, like 5 people on our side. So my team, and then for the Bellevue team, I think they had about like 7 members. And so I think all you really need is just like probably like 5 people, like what we had, and just, had the empowerment to start that and just have a good team that is willing to pursue something like this. And of course, it's not easy to start up, a club in your area if like you're only one, but I think with like a good team, definitely like reaching out to others, students who are interested in JEC and kind of what JEC has to offer, and then just like go from there and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, and I would totally agree. Obviously, you do need a team to start a chapter. That's really important. Um, but I'm really glad you all were able to join together and start that initiative. And outreach is always extremely important, as well as another thing I took away from that. And now that you guys have sort of established that new chapter and it's up and running, I'm wondering, what might you look forward to learning within JEC, or does your chapter have any specific events or initiatives in mind for the future?
Yeah, so right now we're currently working on reaching out to businesses around the Bellevue area. And I'm from Yakima, so I'm like about 2 to 3 hours away from Bellevue itself. But so I've been kind of like contacting or just like searching up businesses so I can help the communications team, which we have. I think I'm really excited just to connect with my community and kind of like fostering a community of students that are like interested in business just like me. And I'm also excited like communicate with our community by connecting with different businesses and just reaching out to see how many members we can gather and how many people we can find that will support our club here.
Yeah, I think that's a really great plan so far, and it seems just from the a little bit I got about your previous experience, it seems like you're very well equipped to kind of reach out and connect to those businesses, and also, um, you know, appeal to the high school community as well. So, I think yeah, that's a really great goal and a really great plan to set for your new chapter. And then, through, the establishment process of JEC Seattle and also through the experiences you will have in the club, how might you want to use the skills you'll learn or develop to aid in your future endeavors?
Yeah, I have to say definitely gaining more leadership experience. That's something I'm very passionate about. And I know that with like leadership, there comes like the team working experience. But I also want to, get myself out there in my community and get to know others and make new connections, as well as kind of like upgrading myself on like the technology experiences such as, like emailing, networking, like really pushing myself out there while, like working with the new growing technology that's happening in our world today.
Yeah, and I think a great takeaway from that is that JEC is a place to absolutely grow your existing skills, and in your case, like leadership and teamwork and community outreach, but it also is a place to, try new skills, expand on things you haven't really learned before, like that technology aspect. And a great thing about the club is also that it's quite interdisciplinary, so you can kind of interweave those different skills to create a more impactful, initiative, event, or outreach strategy.
Yes.
Yeah. And then finally, I was just wondering if, you have any one major piece of insight that you would kind of want to leave with prospective members who might want to apply in a city where there already is an established chapter, or if they want to start their own. If there's one piece of advice or takeaway you could give them that might be most important.
Yeah, I think definitely just to try something new. I think when I did JEC, in my mind, I kind of wanted to try something new and experience something because my town is very small. And so my community is not as big as like Seattle, for example. And so like trying something new for me like meant that like my network would like open up into the Seattle. And Seattle is such a big city. I mean, there's like tons of people there. And so like having the opportunity to just like be able to experience something new like this is, like mind blowing, like really exciting for me since I haven't really expanded like myself to bigger cities and rather done a lot of stuff with my local community. And so this is definitely a new experience for me, and I would encourage that everyone else also do something new for themselves as well.
Yeah, and well, obviously we're already seeing the impact of you trying something new with, the establishment of JAC, and all of us at the club and in the national organization are really glad that you guys decided to start up that organization in a new area. And, obviously, yeah, trying something new is illustrated through that, story, and so many others is really super important. And joining JAC is a great way to try something new. And I think that's a great takeaway from, the whole interview. I really appreciate you agreeing to share your story with prospective members, especially those who might want to start a chapter in their own city that doesn't have an existing one, because you gave a lot of great insight on how to get started on that process.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So today with Luana, we delved a bit into how to start your own JC chapter if it does not exist within your city or state. Additionally, through her journey, it's clear that leadership is a very powerful tool to bring people together. And most importantly, whether it's joining JAC or any other endeavor, don't be afraid to try something new. Thank you so much for listening. If you found any of this interesting, please check out more information about applying to JAC at the QR code on your screen or at the link in the description. We look forward to seeing you at our next event.